You know when you're out with friends and you go out for lunch or dinner and you have to split the bill? Well, it's not always that easy to split it with cash or with your cards. There's a company, a startup in India, in fact in Gurgaon, which actually solves that problem. And today I'm with the founders of that company. It's called MyPoolin. I have Ankit and Rohit. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Bloomberg Quint. Now, when it comes to MyPoolin, right, it's a really innovative, cool app. What exactly was the genesis of the idea? What made you guys come up with this?
The real origin is actually comes from a very personal problem that we faced, both of us during our college times. That was, all of us end up, owing money to our friends and vice versa. So the real problem was, how do we transfer money seamlessly? How do we share money seamlessly without hunting for cash, ATMs, uploading money to a random wallet and then waiting for, the money to come into the other person's wallet. So that was the real genesis of the idea.
Like, we used to actually use spreadsheets to track this person and then ping them continuously. So we realized like payments was just part of it, right? On top of it, there was this uncomfortable you owe me situations, and you would have to remind them, and it gets uncomfortable between friends to remind them for $200 sometimes or $250 sometimes. So that was an issue that we realized had to be solved, which led to us getting on to creating MyPoolin.
And it's been what, a couple of years since you guys?
It's been a year and a half since we started, and now we are basically expanding further and integrating new things like UPI.
Right. So when you say that, UPI, is this something that's gotten your ears perked up, gotten you really excited?
Right. So, it all comes down to what UPI actually provides. So till now, we had been powering payments among friends for social use cases like gifting, dining, etc. So when we go out and dine, we actually used to wonder whether we should take out our cards itself and just split it there, or should we do like a wallet transfer. It was never easy and painful. Like now, two days back, when we launched the UPI within our app, we just carried out a transfer. I transferred him the entire money in 3 seconds. Like, he got an SMS within 3 seconds, right? 5 times, right? So we realized that it's actually the kind of convenience, right? And in India, consumers, if they want to keep your app on the phone, they want a high frequency utility. They want it to be a regular app use case, right? And this is something we wanted to integrate.
So also you guys use MobiKwik in terms of the wallet, right? So are you guys subjected to the same restrictions as them in terms of, I think, a 10,000 rupee?
So before UPI came in, we were using the wallet-to-wallet transfer via MobiKwik. So at that time, of course, we had the limits of 10,000.
This changes things.
This changes, of course. And now the limit goes away to 1 lakh, so per transaction. So so that's like an awesome change for us.
And also, if I want to ask you guys, so what the NPCI has done with UPI is really cool. How easy or difficult was it to actually, adopt it for you guys, being a startup, which has just started off recently, and get your whole system on this platform? Did you guys face any difficulties?
Actually, it was not that difficult. The reason being that NPCI and our partner Yes Bank has done like really wonderful job in terms of like maintaining a strong architecture and covering all the security loopholes. So all we needed to do was just spend like 3-4 continuous days before the actual for the actual integration. Of course, there was like some planning before that and the whole development of the databases before that, but the real implementation was pretty quick because of their help. So
Just to add on to that, right? So it has been a gradual build-up. Like when the UPI was launched back in February, so UPI as a platform was leased, and then it was up to startups to figure out what they want to do with it, right? So I think with Yes Bank and with NPCI, there has been a great amount of support in terms of iterating the SDK and in terms of fine-tuning the solution. But that aside, there have been other government bodies like iSpirit and others who have actively been telling and educating startups about UPI and making them understand that, hey, you've got to wake up and try to figure out how you're going to use this thing.
What you're doing with MyPoolin, is it really unique, or are there other players who are really competing with you in this space?
So in social payments, we are the first app in actually the whole of Asia to do instant bank-to-bank transfers at a social level. So by social, of course, I mean that you have all your friends on board. That's just one part of it. And the second part is you can actually track what your friends are doing as well, just like a Facebook feed or like a Venmo feed.
I'm going to interrupt you there because that sounds a lot like Venmo. Right. Venmo, for all our readers and viewers, is essentially an app in the United States where if you're out with friends, you could use social media, so your Facebook friends, and just select your Facebook friend and send him the money, and it's bank to bank. So it's something, if you're a Bank of America customer, you can send money to a JP Morgan Chase account, and it's as easy as that. And there's a social aspect to it as well. I personally have been, waiting for something like that to come to India. Yeah. Ankit, Rohit, are you guys telling me that this is it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is actually it. So the wait is finally over for the Indian customers, and very soon, hopefully for Pan Asia. Venmo is here and instant bank transfers in a fun, social manner. So we are really bringing fun back into payments. That's the whole point.
Right, Ankit Rotino, so you guys are saying that there's a Venmo-esque application and it's called MyPoolin, and you guys have that feature where I can essentially just use social media, my Facebook friends, and when their accounts are linked to it, I can transfer money to them instantaneously. Right. Does UPI come into the picture, and are you guys the first ones to be doing this?
Yeah. So UPI provides the base for the instant peer-to-peer transfer. So if you look at Venmo or if you look at VPay, and they had far more transactions than the PayPal or the Alipay, etc. in terms of frequency, right? You would see that the very important thing that comes into play is that it has to be convenient. All the social layer aspect, right, whether it's my friends, whether it's the feed, actually comes on top of it. If there's no convenience, then there wouldn't have been a Venmo as well in that sense, right? So that with UPI, that layer gets established, right? Everything else on top of it, where we have actually seen a lot of engagement being driven, is something that's really unique and which we were the first ones to roll out, right? And we have been doing that for more than a year now.
All right, Ankit, Rod, you guys also going to show me how easy it is to transfer money using this application?
Sure.
All right, let's see.
The moment I open up the app, right, I've got all my friends listed here, and these are like a lot of them are my Facebook friends as well, and on my phone contacts, etc. I can see who has requested me money, whom I need to pay. There are very quirky and interesting reasons that they've asked me to pay them for. And the cool thing is that if there are certain ones who do not pay me, I can poke them, and I can then remind them again and again. When it comes to payment, I just have to tap once and press pay, and just set the UPI MPIN, and the transaction goes through. So it takes like just 3 seconds to transfer money from my account, which is linked to the app, to transfer money to the other account.
And those two accounts could be any of the 21 bank accounts on UPI?
Yeah, so it's completely interoperable, and it gets transferred instantly.
Okay, and how does it work with Facebook? Have you guys had to tie up with them or what?
Right, so right now we have like a Facebook feed, a friends feed, where it maps the Facebook friends, their activities onto the app. And in terms of like a deeper integration with Facebook, that is more with the chatbot, which is like separate from the app. So just like Venmo, as you mentioned, there's like a feed. I can just comment upon what my friends are doing,
right,
and I can actually stalk and track what they're like doing as well. But essentially it's shared by them.
So Ankit, the application looks really cool, and I hope that when the UPI interface is really live with iOS as well, we'll see this becoming ubiquitous and being used a lot more. Thank you so much for joining us on Bloomberg Quid.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.